monitoring and proper evaluation as well as lack of planning at a very early stage. Because stakeholders include everyone. I mean, all those people who have some direct or indirect influence in understanding it.
Really, you should have been taking up some responsibility because in the end,
that is really a very important point.
Shared responsibility.
Yes, they should have been more involved. This is a very good point. That why didn't the trust came into at an earlier stage to prevent this sort of thing happening? Maybe there was some lack of communication. Sometimes it happens sometimes that we think that we shouldn't be interfering. But we have always to make a very informed decision that is this interfering or is this informed consultation? You see, there are points when consultation is really needed. If maybe he had got a really informed consultation at an earlier stage, then here is something which you need to think about before actually going ahead with it. That might have helped in planning that IT lab and other things like that. You see, when they came with the judgment, no, you are not getting the money for this, that was more devastating for the teacher, because he took that as sort of an action against do something. And that again draws attention to the use of consultation and voice. We simply assume that people in certain positions have got ultimate knowledge and experience to make decisions on policies. Yes, this is another point. Yes, we are often reprimand people for their weaknesses. A point that we discussed yesterday also, that we are very quick to criticize, we are a bit reluctant to appreciate why it should be other way. Appreciate people first, then draw their attention to what can be done to improve weaknesses. Also, that criticism should be private, appreciation should be public. I think it's the process here. And the questions here are how we get there. It's very easy to say we are here and we want to be there. But this is the most difficult part of it. How do we get there? And that is what we really need to give some thought to. So, implementing strategies, certain issues, translating strategies, action, how do we really achieve that? Different strategic timing also. Can somebody quickly tell me what they have? This was the book talking about leadership of setup. What was the strength? Quickly, any strength? Self-motivated. Anything else?
And he was using the formal and informal leadership.
Formal. Very good point. Formal, informal leadership, yes. What else?
And management style or leadership style that was more towards the democratic.
More towards democratic.
That's one of the things. But the disadvantage is he was more of the people-oriented person. It's not the task. Trying to be very and students, I think that was his main.
Good.
People away from the task. And the recommended strategy is first to develop the good balanced mix of formal and informal and to become the high leader so that he can have the task and
That's really an interesting analysis. I mean, there can be a lot of things which we can go into and discuss, but obviously we don't have time for that. What do you think about strategic real maximum pace?
he knew what he was supposed to be doing. But I feel like he was supposed to. Somebody said from that side, like 5 4 minutes back, that he needed to consult some person, like who were the kind of IT savvy in that business, who knew like nitty gritty of that thing. And I think he lacked that thing. He did not get it into that.
He had a vision, he knew where he wanted to take the school, but he didn't take expert advice on all areas on how to achieve that. That was a major weakness. Yes, you're very right. I mean, again, if we go into details and if you had read the case studies, you would be able to contribute in more detail. And obviously, we have to go quickly. But the main thing, yes, the main point is, yes.
We don't have over ambitious, we are more realistic.
Yes. I wouldn't say he was over ambitious. I would say that he has a very, very high vision of where he wants it, and that reflects his commitment to it. So there's nothing wrong in having high ambitions. The wrong is if you don't go in all the details of how you can get there and having support of appropriate expertise in getting there. That is where you can make a mistake. I mean, you can have all sorts of dreams, but making their dreams reality is where you need to have a very clear, precise detail. Next to strategic planning. What was the strength of the strategic planning? What was the weakness?
Team building is good,
Team building was good.
and the student academic standards were met.
Yeah, definitely. School performed very well.
The school performed very well, he was a good team. And the weakness was that lack of pre-planning.
Lack of
Pre-planning. He overlooked, which we just mentioned, the level of detail.
They couldn't analyze internal and external factors which are affecting the organization.
yes. Good point. And anybody else would like to chip in?
The breakdowns were not actually built in this planning. They didn't have the breakdown that happened.
Yes, but I mean, he was planning more sort of pushed by where he wanted to be, rather than looking at the details of what could happen. He was not very strong on monitoring the things. He monitored, his monitoring was meeting staff every week. That was the monitoring. Yes.
And the recommended strategy is that he led the holistic approach towards things. The vision was there, he was visionary, but that was not shared. The expert opinions were not there.
He really didn't do
SWOT
SWOT analysis. But even if he had just considered the possible threats, I think he would have been okay. But he didn't. He just went with his feet, and that was it. This is a very simple framework, but this is very significant. It tells you opportunities lead you to do things, to changes, possible changes. What you can do. He looked at the opportunity of light. He didn't look at the threats that it might contain. He didn't look at that. He looked at the strengths of having a large number of students and overstretching the staff in their time commitment. He didn't look at the weakness that overstretching the staff in their commitment might have negative effect on their families. He didn't look at the weakness of having a large number of students and maintaining them might cause more wear and tear in the school. So where is the money for that going to be in the next 5-10 years? So if you look at this sort of, even if you have a we don't always need very detailed monitoring framework. Something very simple can also help you keep an eye on how the things are going. This school structure system.
The strengths were that he had a chemically qualified, closely knit team, and his academic goals were very clear. The weaknesses we could identify that he overlooked the infrastructure of the school,
Very good.
and he lacked the long run vision. What we are recommending is he should have taken interest in the admin required for the sustainability of the school system. Future objectives for growth should have been identified and shared.
Thank you. That's really very good analysis of a particular point. That what he lacked was that possibilities of what can be done in future, how we can sustain the system. That would be sustainable developments, keeping things moving upwards. Not just maintaining them, because there is sustainable and there is development. There are both things. So it is a constant moving on, moving further from where you are today, and it was a very good analysis of that. Thank you. Next. Nice.
Selection of teacher.
Good quality, good and efficient qualitative. Because in strategy we don't use words like nice and things like that. Nice is a good word, but actually yes. Yes, that was a very good point. Yes. Yeah. And very, yes. Very strong protocol policy. Yes.
Too much into his focusing on every teacher, becoming very personalized. Too much. And then just to take care of the other stuff.
I mean, he was giving it to teachers as well. I mean, he like was taking in, helping somebody who was in a hospital or something, and take care of it. Yeah, I mean, he was stretching himself also, and that's probably the reason that staff allowed him to stretch them, because he was stretching himself also. But the impact that it was having overall as team building was really not very positive in some ways. Relationships need a professional underpinning. You have to be very professional. So you have to keep a sense of equity. If you become personal with one member of the staff, the others might be demotivated. So that is very unprofessional. So that is why the term which is preferred is interpersonal. And they are a very important part of planning your work for your future. I mean, obviously, you might have more closer relationship with certain people, but your professionalism here should not let you influence that in your practice within the organizational context. Outside that context, you can be personal, but not within the organizational context. Because you might get more work from those who are personally close to you, but that is in the long term going to damage your relationship with those people who are not personally close to you. Yes. I mean, definitely in professional context. Yes. In the professional context. So we need to sort of have this careful balance of professional and personal relations. It is a very delicate thing which can sometimes be. Right, we have got about 10-15 minutes. 10-15 minutes. Just a quick discussion of the second character, because this will be incomplete if we don't know the other person as well. Have you read it?
I have just
Yes, great comment. Yes, thank you very much.
I just written down in the form of points. We can quickly go through it. Meg Gregory was an army person. He retired from the army at the age of 60. He was being trusted by the trust because of his
He was a highly qualified
He was
person.
highly qualified. He has been doing research into education and management, and his research really impressed the trust, and that's why he was being inducted. He was at the age of 60, and he was being taken as a principal of the school for 5 years. He has done studies in religion and theology. He was good at the financial planning because he has been working on a base, which was army base, which was in the financial crisis for French, and so he managed the finances very well.
That was the reason of his selection, that
And
he
he
had
earned a
financial
PhD from army for writing the papers. He knew when he entered the school, he knew that it is a very academically, it's a very strong, sound team, and so he never wanted to intervene into the day-to-day business. He trusted his team, and now he wanted to come on the core area, that is the financial management. So he quickly started getting the injection of the cash because he enjoyed good relations with the trust and with the other companies.